This episode is sponsored by OneFootball. Do make sure you check out the excellent free OneFootball app to keep up to date and notified of the latest scores, news and stats all in one place. To download the OneFootball app, click the link in the description below this video. So welcome along then to our instant match reaction. A point at Turf Moor. Clive is on the line as we dissect and review the point away from the north. You know, many fans driving up through the cold conditions, the snow over yesterday as well. But let's start from the top though, Clive, yeah? Two changes to the lineup. Slattery and Armstrong in for Højbjerg, which we assume is still concussed from his head injury from the other day. And Jan Valery drops to the bench. Yeah,
well, James Ward-Prowse did very well, didn't he, when he came on at right back against... Well, he switched to right back against Palace, and I thought that was quite a sensible decision. And Slattery, to me, is looked the part when he's come on, and certainly didn't let us down today. I think he's got good physicality about him. A little bit lucky early in the game, was a bit of a reckless tackle, but fortune favoured him there, and I thought he had a decent game. Yeah,
and I think it is pretty fair to say that he got away with that within 3 minutes. I think any other time in the game that would have been a yellow card. But, you know, we started well. I guess we started on the front foot, and there was an excellent one-on-one chance from Danny Ings. A terrific ball from target from the left-hand side, and Ings finds himself one-on-one, but just smashes it against Heaton, really. And we're off. I guess we're in the ascendancy early on.
Definitely from the build-up from midfield, looked very slick. Ings was joining the play-up really, really well, and the whole team looked like it was flowing. Burnley didn't look much of a threat. But the minute that Ings went off, the game changed. And Burnley came very much more into it.
And I guess it is, I suppose, inevitable with Danny Ings, really. He goes off injured. It doesn't look like it was too serious. Obviously, we don't know the extent of it right now, but I guess he's got a week to. I guess we've got a week to find out if he's going to be back in the starting 11 against Cardiff. But as you say, you know, he was replaced by Shane Long, and then we were calling each other at half time, and the approach was totally different. Shane Long was obviously going to be running onto balls, but Ings links up the play and is perhaps a little bit more intelligent than Shane Long on the football pitch.
Yeah, certainly. And it's obviously, with us not signing anybody in the transfer window, it is a major worry. You know, what we got, Obafemi, Charlie, you know, Gallagher, Sims, I guess there's a few players there, but you'd have expected the club to go and fill that potential void. And of course, that could have happened. We don't know what the injury is. Let's wait and see what it is first. But it's a worry, Freddie. It's a major worry. But goals do come from, I must admit, since Hassenthal's come in, goals do come spread around the team, don't they? So that's a positive sign.
Yeah, it's been a shared, I suppose, contribution. But just after Danny Ings goes off, Ashley Barnes, he pops up. I guess he nods, pokes the ball past McCarthy. He's eventually booked for simulations. The referee judged him to go down too easily, but McCarthy rushing out to the edge of the box. It's a huge let-off for us, let's say. You know, McCarthy got no touch of the ball.
I think Ashley Barnes was quite... I think it was a penalty, but he sensed McCarthy coming, and I don't think he cheated, but he was very clever and he went over the body, and it did really, I think it was a foul. Got booked, and he actually could have been sent off with the way that he remonstrated with the linesman, much the same as Sahar did the other night, because he'd already been booked, and then he sort of waved his arms about at the linesman. I would have been frustrated if that was me. We'd have been fuming. We'd have been screaming for a penalty. So I really think we got away with one, Freddie.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you don't even need to be genius to lip read what he said. I guess if you watched the game, you can see the abuse coming out of him towards the linesman, towards the referee himself. But it got feisty from there, though, didn't it? You know, everyone crunching into tackles.
It did, but I thought that Burnley were looking at their most dangerous at that part of the game, that the midfield, when the midfield had the ball, Barnes was finding space and Woods was just staying in that central position, and they looked like they could score in that period, and a couple of close shaves, I think. And I was glad when half-time came around.
Yeah, 0-0 at the break, but we come out flying out the traps. Three chances. The third one obviously going in from Nathan Redmond. I think it might be going down as a Bednarek assist. Redmond picks it up, collects the ball, cuts inside, drives it in the bottom corner. Another excellent goal from Nathan Redmond from all that space.
Superb finish, a very positive play, and we really did start that second half well. We spoke at half time and we were worried about where the goal was going to come from, because with Ings going off, there wasn't the build-up play, but that was dynamic and that was really good.
McCarthy, though, he made a couple of important saves, though. Obviously, we go 1-0 up. We're trying to do as much as we can to waste some seconds. McCarthy made a point-blank save again. But
of our own making, though, we could have cleared that ball and we managed to clear it to one of our own players and it bounced to the Burnley player. And yeah, McCarthy's in the right place at the right time. Good save.
Yeah, point-blank save. But I suppose the game changed when Mr. Peter Crouch making his Burnley debut.
Well,
they start lobbing balls forward high and sort of playing anti-football, if you like.
I don't know. For 5 minutes, they had a bit of momentum, but then I thought we'd ridden the storm. Wasn't too sure about James Ward-Prowse marking Crouch at the corner. That did seem a bit strange, but and they did, before Crouch came on, they nearly got a goal at the far post. He had a free header. It's one thing that really worries me, that we do so much good in a game, but we do turn off at set pieces. And there is a vulnerability there that needs to be addressed, especially with the size of the guys that we've got. You'd expect us to be able to not... If someone does a brilliant header, I think you've got to stand up and say, great goal. But teams are getting free headers in every game. It hasn't punished us so much, but I see a vulnerability there.
One thing I noticed, actually, watching the game, and perhaps they might show it in the highlights tomorrow when they're out on the website, but there were so many times the ball was going up, but two Saints players were going for the ball. Perhaps that's what's letting them down, the communication. Nobody's putting a name on it.
Yeah, they're all working for each other. There's no doubt about that, and the fitness levels have definitely increased. It's just the quality on the ball, and you can only get that by experience, really. But it's like it's nearly there, but it's not quite there.
Yeah,
Jeff.
I think we thought we had enough to put the game away, but a ball once again lobbed forward towards Peter Crouch. He heads the ball down onto Jack Stevens' hands. Anthony Taylor gives the penalty and Barnes duly slots it away. The win is snatched away.
Yeah, clearly Jack Stevens is blind to the situation. He's not. He might have thrown his arms out, but he's not throwing his arms out to stop the ball because he can't see what's behind him. So I think we've been lucky once, unlucky once. So they do say things balance themselves out. But when they balance themselves out in the 4th minute of injury time, it bloody well hurts.
Yeah, OK, so here it is. I suppose ultimately it's not a bad point. Obviously, we're disappointed in that, but couldn't quite hang on. And I suppose the opinion is very much divided. I'm just, flicking through the Saints FC hashtag over on Twitter, and there's quite a few people laying into Jack Stevens. For me, he can't be blamed for it, But was it a foul, or was it, as the referee called it, a blatant handball?
I don't know, Freddie. It's so tough to call. You ain't going to get a foul in the last minute of a game at Burnley. He's gone up. They've both gone up for the ball. I don't know if he's climbing on him. If you did VAR, you'd have to play it about 10 times and then judge it. But a lot of fans will say, yeah, of course it's a foul. But it's just hard to take.
Well, let us know what you think. Was it a foul on Stevens, or was it, as the referee called it, the handball? But
a good point, Freddie. Nevertheless, despite all the massive disappointment of that, it's a good point. And I think a lot of people would have said, OK, if we get a point in Burnley, that's decent. We're on a par with them. We've still got Cardiff, Fulham and Huddersfield at home.
I suppose, a point from Burnley, though, it's not bad to take away. It's 2 points from the last 2 games against, I suppose, if you like, relegation rivals, and a win against Cardiff will certainly see us in good stead moving forward. Yeah,
Cardiff is one of those cup finals I keep talking about, and the crowd have really... Whether Cardiff win today or not is irrelevant. These are the games that we have to win. Cardiff, Fulham, Huddersfield at home. Win those 3, we've got a fantastic chance of staying up. I think we have anyway. I really think the team's come together. It's just we haven't spent money in vital areas, and it could come back to bite us. The manager can only do so much with the players he's got.
Okay,
but it's much more positive.
Absolutely. Well, excellent stuff, Clive. Good to speak to you. Do let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Was it a foul on Stevens, or was it handball? Cheers, Clive. We'll speak to you soon.
Cheers, Freddie. All the best. Up the Saints.